Hello everyone, welcome to Arrowcody. Please show support to this broadcast. Please, by all means, share it with your friends, your family, and show some support and dedication and work that you put in every day in every blocks of life so you can form and mold yourself and better yourself as a spiritual being and better yourself as a mental and physical fitness awareness person, as well as a spiritual leadership, and become a better you. This channel is based on spirituality. It's based on virtual reality understanding and based on collecting your thoughts and simply thinking of your future ahead of time. And I hope y'all enjoy this stream. Hope y'all enjoy this broadcast. Share it with your friends, your family, and give a little bit of donation here and there. Arrowcody, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome to Arrowcody. Today we are going to talk about something very interesting, something very fact-based, and something very interacting with other viewers who might be going through a troublesome time and heartful feelings and dreadful bad times. So basically, I have a disease which is not contagious, it's genetic, and it is basically if your family's genetics have it or have some kind of similarities of it, you have a chance of getting it. So basically, I have cystic fibrosis, and I've been dealing with it for 28 years, almost in my ages of 30. And I have survived and still as healthy and kicking ass as many times before and not giving up and taking names along the way. But anyways, as I'm saying this, I want y'all to realize, even though there's hardship and hard feeling times of dealing with CF, I found a way to cope and deal with it in a manner of surviving through hell and back, and made amends to commit myself to the CF and dedicate myself of accepting it and working with it and not against it. So basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of benefits of having CF, and why I say this is that it's a beneficial way of cultivating yourself and bettering yourself mentally and physically by emotionally understanding it can actually open a doorway to understanding your illness and your sickness in order to better yourself. So basically, when I was homeless, I didn't have any regards of getting breathing treatments. When I was lost in the woods for 3 years or 2 years, I can't remember, it's been a while, but when I was lost in those woods, I was reportedly dead, but then came out and stopped a police car, and they said, "Did you know you were reported dead? We've been looking all over for you." And I said, "No, I did not know this." And so, by the way, I don't remember how I got in the woods, and I don't know what happened or what even got me there, and how I got into Bowling Green in Nashville and Kentucky. That's a different ball game. I don't even know what happened and how I even managed to get in those situations and get all that far without dying. Pretty much what I'm saying is, if you're mentally strong, you will survive. The will to live is stronger than the will to die. So if you're willing to survive and you're willing to fight for what you believe in and strive to better yourself mentally and physically, chances are you can beat a disease. It's all mental. It's all about mental status. And me having CF, I learned through my years of getting abused and neglected and abandoned that I learned that I don't necessarily need these so-called meds that they give me, because if I can survive out in the wilderness without these meds, and I can survive being homeless without having technology of having breathing treatments I need to take every day, then I know I can survive through anything. And I know I can comprehend and understand that this illness is not the boss of me, I'm the boss of it. And knowing this and having the realization of actualization of knowing that CF is a deadly disease, you don't necessarily need meds or any of that if you have a strong will to survive and a strong will to make a difference and be yourself and express yourself freely without putting on a show to be accepted by others. So CF is a deadly illness, yes, but it all depends on how you use it and how you cope with it. That would define who you are as an individual human being. So, what you're doing today will determine what future holds tomorrow. So, you gotta realize that, even though I have a deadly disease and I can die at any moment, I learned to accept it. And when I accept it, I freely flow with it and not against it in order to grow and better myself as an individual being. And to be honest, to get stronger, to have that willpower is stronger than the will to die. And that's the cold hard fact. If you're mentally strong, you will survive and you will not be overtaken by any illnesses that may try to drag you down or might bring you down. I know some cancer patients that survived through cancer and overtook cancer and overcame it. And if they can do that, so can I overcome this disease that can deadly kill me. And anyway, it's all mental. Anything in this world is all mental. A higher consciousness is stronger than the will of death. And it's the way it is. I mean, if you believe in yourself, you have confidence in yourself, and you want something bad enough and strong enough, go out there and get it. You will make it. You will survive. And that willpower, that mental status, that mental focus and concentration, they say that if you have a weak mental status, you won't survive. And that I believe cold-heartedly. Because if I can survive through being homeless and in the woods with absolutely nothing but a rags on my back that was given to me in curtain, because my clothes was stolen from me, I had absolutely nothing. I lived in the homeless shelter like once, and I never went back because I got lost in Nashville. Somehow ended up all the way on the other side of town, and shit happened, but I'm still alive. And if I can survive, you can survive. And if I have a mental status strong enough to have that mental status of focus and concentration and motivation, of believing in myself and having that high confidence, there's no disease that would kill me unless I let it, unless I have a weak mental status. It's all about mental. My papa taught me, he said, the more mentally strong you are, the more healthy and physical you are. So, it's true. I mean, think about it. People that have anxiety, depression, anger are usually the ones that develop a lot of health problems and get sicker instead of better because they let their mental status take control of their physical status. So basically, if you overcome the mental status and be positive more and not looking so much down on negative reactions and negative behavior or negative thinking, then you'll make it. You'll be healthy enough to fight off whatever it is causing you and bringing you down. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. If a cancer patient can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyone in this world can do it. It's all mental. It's all state of mind. And that's one thing that nurses and doctors don't teach you. Is basically they don't want you to know the actual cold hard fact that the more positive thinking, the more positive behavior towards your reaction of how you feel will develop your commitment and dedication to hard work into a healthy lifestyle. So the more you think good, the more you have confidence and believe in yourself, the more you think positive thoughts and positive manner, the more healthier you'll be. Like those Buddhist monks, they don't believe in negative. They don't even believe in hell. So the more they don't believe in something that is negative and that's dragging others down, the more healthier they are. And most of them live to be 250 years old, sometimes longer than that. It just depends on how strong your mental focus and concentration is. I mean, if you don't have a strong mental focus and concentration, you won't survive. It's all mind state of mind. And that's one thing doctors and nurses don't teach you. But if I can overcome an injury of being paralyzed on my back when I couldn't walk for jumping up and kicking the exit sign down and then landing on my back and breaking my back right in the middle of my spinal cord, and I got paralyzed from it, and I can overcome that and still have this disease and overcome that of being homeless and shit, you can do the same thing. It's all about willpower, and it's all about believing in yourself and having that confidence and focus to better yourself as an individual being. And don't think so much and dwell so much on the pain or agony or the stress of what can happen. Think about the positiveness that can overcome and the outcome that can become something bigger than yourself. So, I hope y'all learned something from this. I hope I was able to set shine to help y'all understand that no matter what disease you have, no matter what you go through, if I can survive through any of this shit without having the medications, you can too. I'm not saying stop taking it, no. But what I am saying is that your mental status will develop your physical status. So the more positive manner you think of yourself, the more positive manner you respect yourself and confidence and believing in yourself, the more you can overcome. But the more negative and the more you dwell and the more you disbelief yourself, the more you'll fall into a knife of pain and agony and become more sicker instead of better. I learned that it's not the choices or what we make that will develop our health. It's how we believe in ourselves and how we take care of ourselves through a mental focus that will develop a commitment of achievement in our life. So if I was to think that I will be famous, I will be famous. If I was to think I will be famous, I will be famous because the mental status of the willpower of it causes a reaction. It's like Newton, law of attraction or whatever. Forgot his name, but he proved that the more you think good things, the more good things will happen to you, and the more you'll survive through hardship times. Now, the more negative and the more process you think of bad thoughts and bad behavior and do bad things to others, the more bad's going to come on you. It's called karma. And it's a true thing. It really is real. Like my dad, for example. I'm not going to mention his name. I just call him David. But I'm not going to mention his real name. But let's say he abused me a lot. I mean, he was my stepdad. He never actually showed love and dedication of work, of showing that he cares about me. He was never there for me when I needed him the most. Instead, he always talked down to me, hit me in the face, pushed me on the ground, called me a loser and all this stuff. And he put fear in my mom, trying to get my stepmom to turn against me and shit. Basically, he was a bully. And he he thought size mattered. And he thought just because he was big and he was a bodybuilder that he was a hard ass, until one day he got beat up and he got taught a lesson by some guys that was smaller than him and beat the shit out of him to a point that he had a black eye and was in a coma in the ICU. And then he come back around, calls me up, and apologizes for all them times he did me wrong, and realizes, you were right, I was wrong. And what happened there is karma. Basically, the more bad you do to people, the more 10 times worse it's going to be on you after it's all said, done, and dead. And that's the reality of life. I mean, it's like the thinking focus of concentration, like I was saying. The more things you think on good, the more good you're going to get. And the more healthier you'll be. Just like those Buddhist monks, like I was explaining before, they don't believe in hell. They don't do negative things. They go out and help the community, bring people together. They spread the word of what they believe in. They're not ashamed to be who they are. They exercise every single day for 8 hours a day, and they sit here and they're very mental focus and concentration of believing in their self and not believing in what others tell them. Instead, they do their self, and they believe in their self in order to understand their self and build up character and respect for life and for their self. That's why those Buddhist monks never get sick. Never have they ever had a health problem. And even if they do have a health problem, they overcame it through the arts of martial arts and deep meditation, which is better for you than all this other crap that America does. Basically, America's a lazy bum, and they depend too much on others instead of believing in and depending on themselves. So if you can realize and come to reality of actualization that, those ways of thinking positive and believing in yourself, it will help you overcome a lot of things, and it will help you overcome hardship times. And the more good you do, the more good you receive. So I hope this was a lesson to all you who wanted to know what CF and how bad it can be. It will kill you, but that's something you got to accept and something you got to flow with, and believe in yourself that everything will be okay, and it will. But if you believe in bad things, like something bad's going to happen, or I'm going to die, or whatever, then you're going to die because you believe and you're going to die. I mean, if you believe in positive behavior and positive attitude and you do good, you have nothing to fear. You have everything to gain and nothing to fear. So I want y'all to know that even though you have a deadly disease, it doesn't define who you are. Only your thinking process will define who you are. So if you think on good things, good will happen. If you think on bad things, bad will happen. Law of attraction. It's the way it is. And I hope y'all were able to take this as a grain of salt, and it was able to help you insight in a better process of bettering yourself and live a better life and a healthier lifestyle. And who knows, maybe you should look up into Buddhist monks and look up how they never get sick. They eat fruits and vegetables. They don't eat meat at all because that's part of their belief. But you should check them out. I mean, they have a lot of benefits. Why we need to start looking up other cultures in order to help our benefits. I mean, sometimes, even though we may not believe what they believe in, doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong if it's actually working for them. I mean, if it's working for them, then there's something going on there. Something's got to be true. Something's got to be proven fact, because everything they're doing is going correctly the way it needs to go. I mean, it's it's the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but that's the way it is. And just look them up. I mean, look up what they do, their health beliefs, their things they follow. Who knows? You might benefit from it. Or you don't have to believe what they believe in, but you can take in grain of salt of putting the pieces and puzzles together to create your own health benefit from it. I mean, apparently something they're doing is working because they don't have what we have as an American state, and a lot of health problems and a lot of unhealthy people who die at such a young age. I mean, they're doing something right. They must be doing something right. And just thought I'd let y'all know of that. And, have a nice day. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all learned something. Take care, stay safe, and bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Arrowcody, and support my radio station on Anchor. And I hope y'all enjoy this broadcast, and take care, stay safe.